Not your average tabletop. Woohoo!
Welcome back to Not Your Average Tabletop. I'm Zach.
I'm Mac.
And I'm Pepper.
And today for our Stone Timber video.
One of the last Stone Timber videos. So sad.
It is one of the last ones. Towards the end of the month of September of 2022, at least at the time of putting this video out. And maybe you're watching it at a later time, then we're just doing a list pretty much in that case. But we're doing a video related to Stonemaier Games every day of September. So if you're just overall interested in Stonemaier Games, check out the playlist of all there is, everything that we've talked about, and then
Can't believe it's over.
A ranking of all the games too, and where we put them individually. So, but this one will just be talking about the different cover art, and how much we like those, and we'll actually do it kind of like we release the videos, in order of release, pretty much when Stonemaier Games publish the games. And then we'll just all give our ranking of them. So it'll just kind of be jumping all over the place, and then we'll probably do a little recap at the end of just giving our ranks. Michaela's grabbing something, maybe a knife. I don't know.
Yep.
Did you say yep? Oh my gosh. But yeah, we can get right into it. Let me make sure. Hopefully, I'll grab the right ones. But we will be starting with the first Stonemaier game, Viticulture. And I guess I can give my rating first, or ranking, and
3.
That's so the third best one? I have it as the fourth best one. So this is out of the 13 Stonemaier games as of making this. So
I have it 11.
Wow. 11 out of 13.
11 out of 13.
Questioning your decision-making ability.
Wow. Yeah, I actually did think when I was doing this list, and kind of just a note, I do really, really like a lot of the covers that Stonemaier does, so to me, they're all kind of pretty close, and I could see, maybe, just depending on what I'm feeling, I could see these changing from, I could make this list in another year, and it could probably change slightly, kind of just at what I'm feeling. Yeah. And I'm talking to two hooligans that are just messing around.
No, I'm
and
with
you're drawing on the box with the marker.
I'm not drawing on
now
the box.
You gave him a mustache.
I was looking to see what I was going to say about it, and that was that I thought the box was a great artistic representation of Italy. I just think it does look like the Italian countryside, and granted, we've only been like northern Italy, but that is, yeah, like the quintessential like thought that pops in my head, picture that comes into my head when I think of Italy, wine country.
Yeah, like I had said, I thought this one, I didn't think it would be this high for me, but just as I was going through them, had them all on the table here, it just kept going and going, and I was just like, I just love the whole thing. I even love kind of how they have the banner name on there, and then kind of the outside border. I don't think too many of the Stonemaier games actually have a border like that,
like
and I think it works perfectly for this one. So I think just the whole thing coming together, and for me, I just looked at the specific front cover. I don't know if you guys looked at sides or anything, but I just looked at the front cover, and I really love the artwork in this one.
It's so pretty.
Pepper, why do you have this one ranked almost dead last?
It's really well done, but just like not the most exciting. I would say this is a really good cover. So even my 11 is a really good cover, but just not something that really I see and just go ooh or ah, or any of those sounds that you make when there's something really beautiful.
Ooh, ah.
Insert expression.
That's fair. Because obviously,
I guess.
With artwork, it's like everyone's
subjective.
they're gonna love their opinions. But no, I think this one's very, very solid.
Better than a lot of the artwork in the game.
And I think it's interesting because it was
I think a lot of it's pretty
his first game, and I think it definitely lends
Maybe
itself
I shouldn't have
to
taken
that.
This box out of the shot just yet.
No, I think it just lends itself to that era of gaming. Like I feel like cover art has changed so much in the last like 10 years. Like I think it definitely feels like a 10-year-old.
People stomping on the grapes in there. Okay, I didn't notice that. This is moving up as we speak.
I don't know.
I think I could still see a cover made like that today.
Really?
Maybe not quite. But
if they would, I feel like it wouldn't be within like keeping with
it would be
the
a
current theme.
I feel like that would be very much a artwork you could use for a Euro game today.
I don't know. I think it just strikes the balance perfectly of classic, but not like old and ugly.
Yeah.
Not like a lot of games do.
Okay.
But it is really good.
All right, moving
I
on.
agree with Matt.
Okay.
We don't need an hour-long video on art.
We might. Ask Abby about that.
She's not in the video.
Oh, dang it.
Surprise.
Then we've got Euphoria, which is my number 12.
This is my number 10.
My 13.
The worst?
And mine's the second worst for me. But yeah, this one, when you have them all on the table,
Yeah.
this one definitely sticks out
Yeah.
Yep.
as being different. And I actually thought, this one, it is interesting enough that it could kind of be. I thought it could make its way up my list, but just as I kept looking at it, I'm like, I just don't think it can.
Yeah, the same
for me
thing.
personally.
Same thing with me. I was like, the idea of what I think of when I think of the Euphoria cover, I'm like, oh, that's a cool, colorful one. But when I look at it, I'm like, I don't know if I really love it that much. Especially kind of the character and his
Yeah.
eyes.
He's
a
a
little
little
off-putting.
pointy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I agree. I just wasn't like super wowed by it. It's all kind of one color. I mean, unless you look at it very closely, it's just kind of like
Looks like a bright.
blue with yellow in the background. So
I
out
do
of
like the look of the Euphoria title.
Yep.
I agree. I do like that too. So I think it is.
So far, two great titles.
Yeah, he does those really well. So I just
That'll
think
be the next video we do.
right. Based on some of the other boxes, it just wasn't. I mean, the color grabs your attention, but like it's just a ton of yellow if you're just looking at it, and then Euphoria. So
Also has a blue border. Interesting.
it's
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah, I think it's still good. It's just obviously not my favorite because I think Stonemaier seems like it feels
Well,
like it has a style.
You know
overall.
what's up against? You know what
Right.
it's up against.
Yeah, Stonemaier Games really has a style of artwork on their covers, I think, and this one definitely pops out from the rest. But then we will get into Between Two Cities, which is my number 11.
This is my number 12.
My number 8.
Ooh, Michaela likes this one
I do
out of
like
us the most.
And 8 is
I
her favorite
just-
number, so she's actually saying this is her favorite cover.
And I think the title works for me here, but it's not my favorite. Not my favorite title of the ones we've seen so far, I guess. And I think for me, it's just a little boring. I mean, it has a very similar look to what you see in the Viticulture one, only it's just kind of just a portion of it with not really too much else going on.
I think it's
I
a
don't know,
I
really.
like it. It's got the sky
I think
and the
it's a-
mountains.
Yeah.
And the
It's got a
I
good
think
look if you were going to hang art on your wall compared to some of the other
Yeah.
ones, but
I think it's just.
I don't know.
I liked it because it's just really peaceful, and I really enjoyed the different artwork they employed between the two cities. I haven't actually read Between Two Cities by Dickens, I think it is, but it makes
you
me
assume
curious.
this is what the art would look like?
I'm not sure. I mean, it's obviously a nod to that book, but I just really love the purple mountains in the back. It just looks so peaceful
It's
and
making me think of a Bob Ross painting.
yeah.
Just a-
It's probably not your standard box art, or maybe more standard, I guess, depending on
Art
what
by
you're
Bob
looking.
Ross.
But wait a minute, no, I don't know. I just liked it. It's peaceful. It's very not busy, which I
Yeah.
think sometimes can be good in games.
Yeah.
But it is interesting because it really is not like an accurate representation because, like you said, it is more industrial,
Mm-hmm.
the game.
Yeah, you got
but
some.
Yeah, you got that going on over there, but
that's true. That's true.
then what do we have next? Oh boy, the big boy, Big Daddy Scythe.
Big boy.
And Scythe for me is my number 3. I actually thought this one would contend for my number 1 favorite one because it is definitely up there for me. It's just slightly different than kind of their other look, I think, but it is close to that look. But I just really like the just kind of the whole scenery here of some farmers with mechs in the background. It just has a really cool feel to it. It really puts you in a world. It'll be good for them to see the back
Well,
of
you
that
flip
box.
it back
At
around.
least show them that side.
Yeah, look at Wojciech.
Whoa, check the bear on the side of the box. You can't count the side of the... Well, you guys
love
can, I guess.
Wojciech.
I did not.
I'll count Wojciech where he is.
But,
rip
yeah,
that side and
this
put it
is
up front.
actually, like, if I was picking to hang some of this on my wall, if I was picking between this and Between Two Cities, I would pick this one.
I'm
Even
just
though
thinking
it's
a
not real
non-board
history.
gamer who
Yeah.
comes and sees just
really-
battling mechs.
Well, they're peaceful.
Behind some farmers.
Yeah, it's funny that they're just gathering their food there while the mechs battle. I put this as my number 2.
Ooh.
I really love the artwork on this one, and what I think is great about this artwork, because not only is the box good, and you know that's what we're rating it on here, but like it's the artwork throughout the whole game, and it brings you from the moment you open and go to the box, it brings you into the side world, and I love that. It's so like transformative. It's great. You really get a feel for the world you're in, and I think it's excellent.
Yeah, that is totally true. When you look at this box and you play the game, look at the box again, you're like, that's exactly what that felt like.
Yep.
Yeah,
This
I
is-
would agree. I think this probably out of all the games probably brings you into the world the best out of all
Yeah.
Stonemaier games.
Yeah, for sure. This was my number 4. And the title, again, another fantastic
Yes, I
title.
love the title.
That sea, it's just so perfect.
Bonus points for Wojciech on the side.
Yes.
I don't know why, but I love that stupid bear.
So we didn't compare lists. At least I
Yeah,
didn't
I
with either of you guys. But that one's probably going to be contender for our top overall average
Yep,
one.
yep.
It sounds like. So yeah, very solid.
Bye, Wojciech.
Then, I believe this is right. Charterstone next cover.
It is now.
It is now, if it isn't.
We are changing history.
But yeah, Charterstone is another one that's a little bit different. It still somehow feels like it fits with the rest of them, whereas, yeah, and there might be one other one outside of Euphoria that doesn't quite feel like it necessarily 100% fits. This one still feels like it, although it does feel different as well, with it being a lot of whiteness. But I think this one does a really good job of representing kind of what you're getting yourself into, where you may only have a little bit of the information when you first start playing, and then kind of will reveal what's behind the clouds as you continue to play it.
No spoilers.
Being a legacy game. But yeah, I really love this. I love the way the title's done again.
The
It
more
fits
great
perfect.
lettering.
It fits perfect again. They pick some really, really great fonts for all of these, and yeah, I really like the look of this one. I gave it. It's right in the middle for me. It's number 7, but yeah, like I've said, I really love a lot of the covers, so that's not really a
High
huge
five, Mac. High
negative.
five.
Oh, fat. Nice.
You're 5 as well.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, I think it's just really cool. It's like all white, and it's so different than the other things. And like, there's just little nuggets as you kind of look around the game, and it's just really cool that it's all white. You do not see that very often, I don't feel like, and it definitely calls for it. And
for
like,
sure.
like I said, I think this brings you into the game too, kind of like Scythe. So
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I really like this one.
she's a cutie.
And you always, if you see it on the side, you always know which game it is.
It's true.
Because it says Charterstone. Because it says Charterstone, that's why. No, the one side is pretty much all white. But yeah, that gets us to our next one, which is My Little Scythe. And this one might be my least favorite wording so far. I think it fits the game. It fits for what the game is, but it's not my favorite style. But I rank this one number 10. So just in general, it's not my favorite cover, but I do really like the look of all of the different kind of animals in the game. The baby, almost baby-like animals based on the original side. I think they did some great artwork for kind of a, I think it's like chibi look or whatever it is. And think that works pretty well, and you kind of get a feel of what the board is going to be as well in this one with the kind of nice green and blue colors that they use there.
So you have a 7. I have this at 8. So pretty close there. Just another much different feeling, very cartoony, and I just really love all the cute animals. Something different.
Yeah, they definitely steal the show. I love how cute they are.
Yeah, definitely different, and that's why it's not quite towards the bottom for me, but at the same time, I don't know that I personally always love the
I think I just
cartooniness.
always struggle with the contrast of My Little Scythe versus Scythe because they're like just so completely different artwork. It's mind-boggling.
But I think they did some really good stuff for what type of game they're trying to sell here. I think it makes 100% sense.
It's great too because if you like the mascots in Scythe, it's fun to see them come like alive and have a more focused part.
Then we get to Between Two Castles of Mad King Ludwig.
This is my number 7.
Number 7, eh?
Number 9.
Number 9.
I'm glad I got to say mine last because this is going to shock you guys. This is my number 2.
Oh my god, just because
Just
it has
the more
2
and
in
more-
the title.
Yes, because it has the 2 in the title. And sadly, I didn't put Between Two Cities at number 12 like I should have to have the 2s on both of those. But, just the more, like I said, when I was ranking these, I had these out on the table. The more I looked at it, I was just like, I just really love what's going on here. I love the look of this. It has a different feel from Between Two Cities. I know you guys like that one a little bit more than I did. And I guess where did that rank comparatively to this?
8 and 9.
12
This is
and
9?
7.
And this 12 and 7? Okay, so I guess it was a little lower for you, Jesse. But, and just him drawing in that little place.
That's Ludwig.
The old Ludwig drawing. And just the kind of architecture of these buildings, I think, just works for me really well. I love another good font, in my opinion, along with a little castle on the top there. I think that really
I love
works well.
the font, but I think the title kind of gets lost a little bit in the cover.
I think it works.
Yeah, I think the cover is great if you can sit and look at it and just see all these really cool things, like the little Easter eggs in it. But on first glance, it's just a little busy to me, and I agree with you. I think the title just gets lost in that busyness at a first glance.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. But I really love the blue look
Yeah.
of it, and when you do look at all those details, it's really, really good.
Magnifique.
Yeah. And
Wunderbar!
when I was going through it, I really didn't think it'd be my number 2, but yeah, just the more I looked at it closely, I was like, I actually really like everything in this cover, and just the colors they use here just are just a really, really great scenery. I would hang this on the wall.
Oh, you have the expansion hung on the wall.
That's true. Oh boy, it's falling! And we get into
Modern Stonemaier.
Modern Stonemaier, where the look becomes a little more permanent, it seems like. But yeah, this is probably one of their most well-known games.
Easily.
I think they've sold probably like 2 million copies of it now, or somewhere near that, which is insane for being a bird-themed game. But I love the bird theme. I'm just shocked that so many other people do as well, which is awesome. But I'm going to rank this one number 6.
4.
3.
Ooh, I'm the lowest on this one. And I thought I would. This was one that kind of like the opposite of that one. I thought this one would be a little higher for me, but just the more I looked at it, I was just like, I really like and love the cover, but I don't know. After a while, I think
It's getting more and more yellow as we have it longer.
I don't know.
Is it just getting dirtier?
It just gets
seemed a little brighter.
a little more boring to me as I look at it more and more. But it's still amazing artwork. I love the look of all the birds in the game. If I could somehow have a cover that was just constantly changing to different birds, I know that isn't even realistic at all. But
It's called a digital picture frame.
tell me about this. But yeah, so it's a little lower for me, but I still really love the look of it.
I think it's a great, simple cover, beautiful, bold. title on it, this amazing looking bird. I think it just falls because it's right below Viticulture and Scythe. And for me, I'm like, you already know what I think about Scythe. I just loved Viticulture, how it also probably brings you into that game, gives you that feel. It is a bird in the sky or whatever, and it's just very simple and beautiful and modern. So I think it just loses out by virtue of other games winning more.
Yeah. They picked like the perfect bird and the perfect pose for that cover, and just a little bit of orange in his wing, and it's just phenomenal looking, and it is just on a basic, just a little color in the background, which could look kind of prototypey, but they just handled it so perfectly.
Yeah.
It just looks so freaking good.
And it's like it's such a clean game in and of itself too. So it makes sense that the cover is just this clean thing.
Yep.
Would you call it an iconic cover? Do you think it'll be known as an iconic cover like 10 to 20 years from now?
I think so.
In board gaming.
I think so.
Like comparatively to some covers.
Yeah, I think people
Is this
could
gonna be
see
much
I'm
more
trying to think of
noticeable?
like what cover I would currently think of as iconic, and
Scythe.
I really do think of Wingspan, I guess.
Yeah. If you just took like the shape of that bird, just showed someone that, I think people would recognize it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was a solid choice.
Is there an iconic board game cover?
I don't know.
This
I hadn't really thought of it.
This next one.
I'm gonna have to think about this. Sushi Go Party.
Now we get into Tapestry. Like you said, modern Stonemaier. And this one is my top favorite board game cover. How
did I know?
I knew you guys were going to say that. I don't know if it's yours, Pepper, but it is also possibly one of my top Stonemaier games of all time. You can check out that video when we release it. But yeah, this is another one. Kind of, it almost reminds me of the Between Two Castles one, where there's just kind of a little more going on the more you kind of look into it a little bit more, and just the way those people are crossing the bridge with the tapestry-like banners. Obviously, like we said about Scythe, you feel like you're in this world. When you actually play this game, I don't know that I am like, wow, I feel like I'm in this world. But I want to be in this world. So, yeah, that's why I would say, even though I do really like the game, I don't think that's influencing me on this choice, because I don't necessarily feel like they do use the same artwork in the game, but I don't feel like this is the world I'm necessarily in. And I will say, I guess the Tapestry isn't their best.
Yeah, that's the one flaw for me.
You're wrong, Maggie.
It's also my number one for this.
Wow.
And it's just there's just a glow to it.
There is a glow to it.
It's just phenomenal. And then you get a little bit of blue. I mean,
I
think when I asked Abby, this was also her number one.
Well, that's funny because I asked her like 6 months ago what her favorite board game cover was of our collection, and she said Charterstone. So I was kind of like, do you really mean that? Because I know you picked Charterstone like 6 months ago. So
It could be ever changing.
I don't know. I feel like for me, this one is similar to Between Two Castles, where it's just busy. It doesn't. The title doesn't grab me. But I like
I agree the title's not the
I
best.
like the yellow layover color more than I like the blue-green layover color on Between Two Castles, and I think that's why it wins out for me. I just
How did I think about it? They have two T's in there. How did they not use those T's as an opportunity to have banners come down?
from Tapestry, but then the APES would be part of that Tapestry, and it just...
Yeah.
Why did they have banners come out? Missed opportunity, Stonemaier. You could have made this even better than number one.
Fix it
Number
with
0.
with a sticker.
Yeah, so I feel like it's good. It's just probably busy like that one, where if you sit and look at it, you can see all these things, but just on first glance, all I really see is that banner in the middle and just the yellow coloring. So.
And I know you say it's the same artwork, but I prefer like this, like the buildings and the artwork and the people here, much more than I do on the cards. For some reason, it just seems a lot smoother here versus the cards. And it's probably just kind of cards have a texture to them, where this is a smooth cover.
Yeah,
But
and I don't know that this artwork, I mean, I'm assuming it's done by the same person, the cards and the cover. But I think for some reason it just, not all of it feels exactly the same as this vibe, but
And I would say, you said you weren't influenced by your love of Tapestry. I would
were.
say it probably was a little bit of a tiebreaker for me for those top.
you were easily.
I think, yeah, for me, since you know my top two now, I think it was just because that was
Wait,
probably a
I
little
don't know your
warmer colors
Oh, wait.
than the blue-green, and they've got a couple other blue-green ones, so that's probably why it won out over Between Two Castles. Ooh, then we get into Pendulum. What do you got, Mackie? You show us that number. Number 1 twice!
An 11. Can't hardly see it, but I put it at 11. Just because.
Let me guess. Busy?
Well, the
It's got about the same amount going.
title and the clock in the middle are extremely striking, and I like that and the yellow overlay. But
Here, how about I...
yeah, thank you. The
Gesturing with thoughts.
the problem is, right? So like, the problem is so unless you have played Pendulum, you don't know that these characters are in the game, and they're really not important to the game, really, because the theme in Pendulum doesn't really come through. So it's kind of like,
Are you bringing your thoughts of the gameplay into the box cover?
no, but what I'm saying is just that it's trying to reflect what the game is, but the game itself is not really this. And so it's kind of like one of those things where it's like, I know they're representing the game, but it's just an odd concept for me, because it's like, I don't know.
Yeah.
And it's kind of all over the place, just a little bit with some of the characters. So
Yeah, I have this 6. I really love the look, just kind of how the big tower of the clock tower is just central, and that glowing orange of it. I really love that. And
super striking.
the title is really cool design. It kind of feels a little pasted on there. Doesn't really mesh with the rest of the cover like something like Scythe does. But still really nice, and I just kind of like how everything kind of circles around that central tower.
Yeah, I really like the title on here. Maybe wouldn't have put the kind of artist and designer right there exactly, but I have this ranked number 5. I really like the look of this one. I will say, kind of like you had said, it doesn't actually represent the game. Jamie, I want a game in this world using more of this artwork.
Yes,
please. Because, I would say that there's some of it used, but overall, I wouldn't say there's that much being used of it.
Right.
And I like the idea of this world, so I would definitely be willing to go back to it, hopefully with some of these characters, so that maybe we can use them in more ways, because like you said, they are used, and they have like kind of variable player powers, but it doesn't really, it's not like, I don't know. I think there is some flavor text to things, but...
And I think we've talked about this in our... I think we've talked about that in our Pendulum reviews and stuff, is just how the game itself has to be simple, so there's not really a lot of opportunity for that artwork to come through.
Yeah, I love that clock as well. And
it is a very striking clock.
And the characters hanging off those buildings. When I first saw that cover, I was like, oh gosh, I am going to absolutely love this game. And you can find out where that's ranked and see.
Tapestry, 2 of your favorite games.
Right. And you'll have to see our rankings to see where that falls. But then I'm kind of thinking I know someone. Okay, Red Rising. Which has a very, if you've seen the Netflix kind of going into a show or whatever, it kind of has this look for just a few seconds. I've got this one at 8, so kind of middle of the road. It's definitely a little bit different. I like the way that this one uses the bright colors over Euphoria, and I think it works for this one too, because that is the whole game where you're getting different colored cards, so I think it does represent that pretty well. I don't know. The text, Red Rising, the name, is fine, I think, but I wouldn't say that that's my favorite.
That's the font from the book.
Is it the font from the book?
I think that's the font from the cover of the book.
No, could be. It's TM. Have they all said that?
No, but Red Rising is trademarked.
So then maybe it is. Maybe it has to be that. I don't know.
This is my number 2. I really love all of the colors on there, and the characters, and the shadow, and even the font. It kind of makes me feel like kind of an old 80s horror movie type feel, just for me, kind of with the red, and makes you think of blood or
blood
something.
dripping down.
Yeah,
That's how far away.
nice.
Yeah. I put it as number 1. And I was influenced by my love of this game, but actually...
I knew it the second that you gave us grief about Tapestry. I'm like,
actually,
as we were going through, she's got that at number 1. That's all it can be.
But actually, I think I give it more credit because I read the books, and so the cover art is more meaningful. I mean, obviously, yes, all the colors are there. You have this red Mars wolf, I believe it is, that is in the game as a tray or whatever, but if you read the books, then all of these characters, this person in the middle, his shadow, all of that makes so much more sense, and they're just like little nuggets, I feel like, and maybe that's not what they were intending to do, but I feel like I could probably point to quite a few of these and say, oh, that's that character. I bet I could put money on that. So I did think at first when we got it, it did look like the Netflix piece, but I think it is a really good representation of the game, and I guess more so the book. So
Interesting.
And I just like the bright colors. It is really different from what he does.
I knew what you were gonna have it high. I didn't know about you.
It's one of my favorite covers in our collection.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's just a really well pieced out.
It's not quite the wow that I
one.
get from Tapestry between two
You
castles.
get all that, and you get kind of like a little landscape type feel on the bottom.
That's Mars.
With the Mars.
He must be saying just right, so only he has a shadow. But then we go to Rolling Realms.
So salty.
Huh?
Huh?
It's just like Pam in The Office. I think Pam drew that.
Wow.
What did it have? 2 shadows or something?
Yeah.
Rolling Realms is my number 13. It is one of those different looks compared to the kind of the rest of them as well. I think it represents kind of what's going on, but it also feels like this is what I would maybe expect if Stonemaier made an app celebrating their games or some sort of like video game from, I don't know, the 80s or something. It's kind of got a weird, almost video game look to it that I'm just not the biggest fan of. I do like that they switched the O out for Rolling Realms with a die, so that's probably one of my middle of the road kind of
it's a
little
little big
fonts.
A little big.
I don't see Darrow back there.
What's a little big?
Just that little die for the O.
No, it might be a little big, but I think it works for me. And I do like that they've kind of implemented their hexagon thing on their box here as well. And kind of the worlds are dice as well. You've kind of got all the little Easter egg nods to their other games, but
This is my number 13 as well. Whenever I look at the cover, it looks upside down. I think it's probably this little hex in the background, just having more of it down here versus up there. I think that's probably why it looks like it's upside down to me. But every time I see it, I'm just like...
it really doesn't feel like a Stonemaier game to me.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah, no, it doesn't. I did put it a little higher than you guys at a 10. And that was just really because it does look a lot different. It is a totally different feel. It's very busy, but I flipped it, and with this one, I love the little Easter eggs on this cover so much.
This one's way more busy than all those other ones that you hated.
It is, but it has more.
But
it has
you
more
ranked it the
Easter
lowest.
eggs, and it has more
I do like that.
of just like the whole like tying it all together. I think so. You do have to look at this one to enjoy it, but I think
For
in
what
this
it
case,
is, I think, just being like, we're going to be meta, we're going to bring all these together.
And I
It
love
is
that.
a fun little activity to just look in there and
And I think he
see
said
the
in your
things.
interview that he wasn't sure like how much more meta he could be, in the future and stuff. But I love the meta. That is like one of the coolest things about like some of the Tapestry buildings, like box covers. Like I love that he's meta in his games because it makes us fans really happy.
Yeah, now that you say that, Jesse, I think I have had that same feeling before that I've thought it's upside down, and I think you're right. I think it is the way that...
also that is lighter than those.
Could be.
Outside of that
It
die.
almost looks like it is.
You guys both wear glasses, though.
Let's get 'em
That's
on.
true. My glasses are flipping around my side all
Maybe
the
you
time.
just
God,
need
it's
to-
right side up.
Maybe you just need to
but
look
then
at
we-
it.
does look a lot more right side up.
We get into the last one that they currently have out. We do know of another one that will have artwork by Vincent Dutrait, but it won't have a box. So I don't know if we will end up counting that.
The game
when we
is
do
the
it.
cover, I guess.
So we'll have
What
to see.
in the world?
We'll have to see with Smitten. But yeah, so this is Libertalia Winds of Galecrest. It is my number 9. And I think if you've heard many of the
Number 9 as well.
Ooh.
Crossover.
surprised, I thought you guys would. I thought I'd have the lowest on this one, because yeah, I have kind of, I think, been the one in the group that's kind of liked this artwork the least. It seems like from the game, the inner gameplay. I guess we haven't really talked about the cover art as much, but I would
There's just so many things coming across.
I would say the Libertalia is almost one of their worst ones for me.
It
With
gets
the
lost.
ropes going around in the
Yeah.
being a ship and whatnot, it looks almost messy to me in that.
Yeah.
But I do like the blue kind of warm feeling to it, so I do like that. That's what kind of bumps it ahead of some other ones that I've talked about already. But yeah, it's still not my favorite. Because actually, too, for what you have here on the cover, I don't feel like this is necessarily the exact world I'm going into when we play the game. Like, because it doesn't feel like I'm traveling on an airship
Yeah.
and doing that type of thing. But I guess it does have the kind of the animals, so it does give you that piece of the feeling from the game.
Just that logo is the main thing. It just looks way too big and somehow still is messy and kind of gets lost just because there's so many other things cutting across the, I keep wanting to say screen, cutting across the screen of the cover. But yeah, I do like the blue quite a bit, but definitely prefer Between Two Castles for blue covers.
Yeah, for me, this one was just too busy and not cohesive, I guess. Like, Pendulum still is cohesive. Like, some of these other ones are still cohesive in their thing, but just the overall, like, I like that there's characters on there and stuff, and I scored it higher than Euphoria just because it's not, I don't know, simple busy is the, between the two. It's
And
like, one's one and one's the other, so.
And I'm not sure if it has anything to do with the fact that they kind of
Wrapped it.
If they hadn't done that, I wonder if it would have made it.
Oh, yeah.
Because they kind of, I don't know that, now I don't remember if their other ones have kind of done this. Usually I think the other ones kind of just have artwork on the side,
Yeah.
but this one it's almost like they took a picture and then stretched it over the sides, which can work in some games. I don't know if it necessarily works here.
Because it feels like if they did, then the picture's off frame. Like, they're missing the main, but I think that's supposed to be the title in this case. So.
Because, it's like, I don't know what I should focus on. Like, I'd like to focus on anything but, like, the bottom of this L. Like, I'd love to see, like, a beautiful ship or an island, but
And I would almost
kind of that
prefer
L.
that the lettering was this gold color, because I feel like this is what draws my attention when I look at the game, and
That's
this just kind of blends with this, the dark and the blue. So I would have loved to see Libertalia as gold.
Yeah, I would agree. I hadn't thought about that, but yeah, that make probably
Those
more
wings
sense.
on the ship always get me.
That is true. Yeah, those are the 13 games. We can kind of go over our 13 to 1s quick. So my list was 13 Rolling Realms, then Euphoria, Between Two Cities, My Little Scythe, Libertalia, Winds of Galecrest, Red Rising, Charterstone, Wingspan, Pendulum, Viticulture, Scythe, Between Two Castles of Mad King Ludwig, and Tapestry.
I have it. Euphoria at 13, Libertalia, Pendulum, Rolling Realms, Between Two Castles, Between Two Cities, My Little Scythe, Tapestry, Charterstone, Wingspan, Viticulture, Scythe, and Red Rising.
And 13, Rolling Realms, Between Two Cities, Viticulture, Euphoria, Libertalia, My Little Scythe, Between Two Castles of Mad King Ludwig, Pendulum, Charterstone, Scythe, Wingspan, Red Rising, and Tapestry.
Ooh. So yeah, let us know who was the most correct, who was the most incorrect. Let us know what your favorite Stonemaier cover is down below.
Should we get art degrees?
Yeah, do we seem to know enough about art to get a degree in it?
Have a valid opinion here.
But yeah, if you like what Stonemaier Games, their games and stuff, check out our other videos that we've put out for the month of September, and yeah, check out whatever ones kind of excite you the most. Otherwise, we hope to see you on those videos, and as always, don't forget to
Keep on nibbling
on our content.